Hi, my name is David P Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. In this video, I want to talk to you about many ways you can and should address an arrest warrant once you find out about it. Okay, an arrest warrant is where a judge basically orders your arrest and gives law enforcement the authority to arrest you and to book you into jail. And there's many types of warrants, right? There's an arrest warrant, a situation where charges have been filed and you may not even know about it. A prosecutor or law enforcement goes to a judge and asks for a warrant for your arrest so they could go out and pick you up with that warrant and with the legal basis arising from that warrant. There's also a bench warrant situations where if you don't show up for court or if you miss a deadline on certain things you're supposed to do. But in reality, how you want to deal with an arrest warrant is pretty much the same thing. So the first thing you want to do is, assuming you find out about the warrant, is you want to reach out to a locally quality, experienced criminal defense law firm to talk to them about, okay, hey, I have a warrant, it's for this, either you know about it or you don't, and you explain that to that law firm. And then they should be able to advise you of the many ways you could deal with it. Well, the first way you could deal with it is you could try and post bond proactively without actually having to be booked into custody. So how does that happen? Well, you could go through a bail bondsman and they will take, 7, 8, 9, 10% of the bond amount. And in many instances, they could post that bond administratively. So let's say, for example, you find out that you have a $100,000 bail and you don't want to surrender, you don't want to have to be booked into jail and be processed and everything that comes with it. You could reach out to a bail bondsman with the assistance of a quality criminal defense attorney and possibly post, $7,000, $8,000, somewhere along those lines, ultimately a discussion that you will have with the bail bondsman. And then the bondsman will go ahead and post the bond and you will be given a future court date. The warrant would then be recalled so you can exhale that you don't have to worry about the warrant being held over your head anymore, whether you're traveling internationally, whether you're at the airport, whether you get pulled over for rolling through a stop sign, whatever the case may be. This warrant should no longer be an obstacle. And it's also important to be proactive when having a warrant, because then your attorney can be in a position to bring that to the court and to the prosecutor's attention about how you proactively dealt with it. You found out about it and you dealt with it within a reasonable amount of time, compared to how a lot of people deal with warrants the wrong way, and they sit on it, or they just forget about it, or they don't want to invest in handling it the right way on the front end, and then it winds up costing them exponentially on the back end, both in dollars, but more importantly in how their case ultimately winds up and what even the best attorneys out there are able to do for you. So first step is you want to be proactive. Can you post bond through a bondsman? Can you post bond cash bail without actually having to be booked into jail? The other option would be sometimes you could get a prosecutor to stipulate to a release of the bond or a lowering of the bond, on unique situations. And then you might be able to post that bond proactively. It might save you some money. And another way you could deal with it is you could ultimately be booked into custody, surrender on the bond, and ideally have a bondsman lined up before you go in. So that way you know that you're getting booked, it's going to release the warrant once you surrender, and then a bail bond can ultimately be posted for you. So the main lesson is be proactive, not reactive, and don't do it on your own. Don't try and do it on your own, because more often than not, you're going to be in over your head and dig yourself into a hole that you might not be able to come out of. There are resources out there, a quality, locally experienced criminal defense law firm, whether my firm or anyone else's in San Diego, that has this type of experience, this type of background, this type of knowledge, will be able to walk you through that process, how you could address the warrant short term, and how long term, how you could best deal with your case, whether it's getting reinstated on probation, whether it's getting ready for your first court date, whatever the case may be. Anything from one extreme to the other, we certainly can and will be able to help you out in all likelihood, even if it's just pointing you in a better direction than what you came to us in. 619-295-3555.